Hello. I was one of the protesters on June 1st. I just have to say thank you for the way that you reacted. It kept me mad. That is why on Saturday, when there was the Blue Lives Matter merchandise sale that you guys allowed without a permit, me and my friend, we went and protested and more people showed up with us. And they brought us snacks and they brought us water and they brought us a whole bunch of stuff. On June 1st, I was yelled at. I was told to go back to my country, to which I was born here. I was born in Michigan. I was born somewhere whiter than here. My brother was born there. My brother is it's the Marine right in front of the police station who passed away a little over 2 years ago for this stupid country. You guys put his banner here and took a picture with him. And people are telling me to go back to where I'm from now. And you said it was okay. And you're gross. Sorry, but you're gross. Also, something that a lot of people aren't saying, on June 1st, for an hour, those men were only protecting the city from me. For an hour, I was the only one there standing with a sign. Then they started yelling at me to show them my penis because if I have short hair, I'm a man. Those are the men you say are okay. Yesterday, we had a caravan, and you better believe that there's going to be more protests coming. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of these men. I'm not scared of you guys. My brother was a Marine. I have his blood in my blood. I'm not scared of you guys.
And I'm here today to speak out against the racism in Yucaipa. Over the last few months, we've been appalled to see how some of the residents and even Councilman Bobby Duncan have inappropriately responded to the recent peaceful protests in support of Black Lives Matter. The recent events brought to light the intolerance that is present in our city. And this isn't the first time that racism has been illuminated in Yucaipa. Just last October, parents and athletes of Yucaipa High School's football team yelled racial taunts and slurs against Rialto's Carter High athletes, who are predominantly Black and Latino. And also last year, Councilman Bobby Duncan posted xenophobic content targeting Muslims on Facebook, causing the council to adopt a code of conduct, which he later broke and decided to bring his rifle to the peaceful protests that occurred last month. We need better role models. We need more empathy and understanding for our fellow citizens who deserve to be treated with the same respect and justice as anyone else. We need to make positive change to foster a more accepting community, regardless of race, class, religion, sexual orientation, etc. I urge the council and Mayor Avila to consider how we can come together and bridge the gap. I'm deeply concerned about the welfare of the people of color in our city, as well as the future of our children, who are poised to inherit this intolerance if we don't change our ways. Thank you, and Black Lives Matter.
Mayor Avila and council members, please explain why there has been no official condemnation of the actions of the Vigilantes who attacked peaceful protesters on June 1st, 2020. Many of the people in the crowd that attacked the protesters are members of a group calling themselves Yucaipa Strong and Yucaipa Militia. Members of these groups have recorded themselves engaging in behavior that could be characterized as harassment of fellow Yucaipans who were critical of their vigilantism, hate speech, and social media posts on the Yucaipa Strong Facebook page. These posts contained racist, sexist, and homophobic language and references to white supremacy groups such as Boogaloo Boys and 3%ers. They have also allegedly engaged in making threatening phone calls to myself and others. That page has since been taken down, but before it was removed, it was noted that a city councilman, Mr. Duncan, was a member and frequent contributor to the divisive and shameful dialogue that took place on the page. Not surprisingly, members identifying themselves as Yucaipa Militia and Yucaipa Strong members have been vocal supporters of Councilman Duncan's questionable behavior on June 1st, 2020, when he was seen possibly violating California's penal code, prohibiting the open carry of firearms. City Council must denounce Mr. Duncan's actions and the actions of the members of these militia groups. Over the weekend, some of these same Yucaipa Strong, Yucaipa Militia members were seen at a gathering where pro-Trump and associated merchandise was being sold across the street from the Yucaipa Police Department. The purpose of this gathering was supposedly to show appreciation for our city's police officers and was advertised as such on social media. One of the items seen on display was a 3%er flag. This group is a known hate group and advocates for race wars. YPD needs to unequivocally disavow any relationship and any support given by these groups. The community cannot trust a police department that is associated in any way with known racist organizations or members thereof. City leadership and our police department must publicly and strongly condemn the vigilantism on and after June 1st, and unequivocally and specifically disavow association with these militia groups or risk the ongoing appearance of tacit agreement with them. Also, City Councilman Duncan, you may actually pull your mask up over your face. You have fallen for yet another hoax, believing that it will render your concealed carry permit worthless. So please have respect for your fellow citizens and wear your mask properly.
But for now, at least, we'll go ahead and read all of the statements as provided. And they get 3 minutes also.
We lived in Yucaipa for around 10 years. We've known the community to be a peaceful place up until the last few months. We were part of a group called Yucaipa Strong for a short time and learned that it is hiding beneath the surface of our community. That group does not stand for what the whole community stands for. There is hate spread on that page. We voiced our opinion against this, and it didn't go well with the members of that page. This is not every member of that page, only about 10 or 15 people and admins of the page. We dealt with the death threats and people driving by our house recording us. One of the main members of Yucaipa Strong filmed herself driving by our house, yelling, taking photos, and getting pulled over for it. Even the officer said, "This needs to stop or it's going to get bad and someone is going to get killed or hurt." You can't go threatening people, doxing and driving by their home, harassing them because you don't agree with them. Our home is also our place of business. Besides our private information, they have accused us of being sex offenders. Bobby Duncan dropped by. We weren't home, so we called him. It seemed like he wanted to help, but when we described who was responsible for everything, his attitude changed. When we suggested all we had to do was make a post asking Yucaipa Strong members to stop, he refused and stated, "You're not going to tell me how to run this town." Bobby Duncan knows what's going on with these two pages. This page is not the voice of our town. It's very concerning to us that a leader of this town would allow this type of behavior and do nothing but encourage it by joining Yucaipa Strong and Yucaipa Militia Facebook groups. We will be the voice of many who are too scared to speak. We need change. Bobby Duncan clearly can't lead, and it is time for him to step down. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to offer public comments in praise of the work of the City Council. In particular, I would like to thank Bobby Duncan. Last year, Bobby's social media posts got him in trouble, but people do not see that Bobby uses Facebook to help our community because he does it in private. But let me tell you, I saw in Yucaipa Strong that he shared information about which stores in Yucaipa don't enforce mask requirements so that we can all shop there. He told us to go to Vaughn's, not Stater Brothers. He helps our community by telling us this COVID is all a hoax. What a great leader and public servant to protect our health from lies. He also helps with love connections. On Yucaipa Strong, where there are like-minded people, he asked a woman if she was the one who gave public comments at the city council meeting last month and then suggested that she might go out with his son. What a wonderful way to use this position on city council to promote strong moral values. I stand behind Bobby using social media in this way and also to profit his own business, like he did on the Nextdoor app where he answered a post about a woman looking for a contractor, letting her know he could take the job, and then sweetened the deal by saying he could push her project through city council. That's what being a city council member is all about, helping out your fellow citizens and benefiting from this position. Like Bobby using Yucaipa Strong to reach out to those poor boys who were called racist just for assuming on June 1st that brown-skinned people don't live in Yucaipa. Bobby knows that we were just defending the town from Antifa. That's why we sat with his own shotgun outside Yucaipa too. It's ridiculous to expect a sitting council member to follow the city's own rules against having loaded shotguns within city limits or California's own penal code. Bobby made clear that this is an open carry city. And for that, Councilmember Duncan, we all salute you. I wouldn't normally speak at council, but when I saw Bobby Duncan had so few people supporting him last week that his own daughter had to submit comments after 3 p.m. deadline, I had to say something. I am no longer aghast or appalled at the recent behavior in Yucaipa. I am angry. Antifa did not come to town and burn it down. Rioters and looters did not come to town. Not one home was invaded and looted. The smoldering cigarette in front of the KKK cafe was not an act of arson by Antifa. The front door of the KKK cafe was not shattered by Antifa. Yet, hysteria was rampant on the internet. Rumors that were posted and reposted ran wild about the Huns coming to Yucaipa to waste our city. Why would they come to Yucaipa? Why not Claremont or Rancho Cucamonga or Redlands with their trove of stores? And why uptown at the same small strip mall housing the KKK cafe? I love my town. That's nothing here worth Antifa traveling 80 miles to burn the city to the ground. Yet wild, irrational fear and anxiety-causing rumors caused men to arm themselves to fight off Antifa and the rioters and looters who were coming to Yucaipa by carload. I marched in the peaceful protest from the 7th Street Park to the police station with Yucaipa High School students and young adults from our city who were demonstrating their concern about the murder of George Floyd. There were armed men with live ammunition along the route watching Yucaipa's children and grandchildren, for God's sake. Mr. Duncan, what was the tipping point for you? What was the one rumor that caused you to become irrational and to arm yourself and join those who had already drunk the Kool-Aid? I want to know, and the citizens of Yucaipa need to know, what possessed you not to alert the sheriff with the information you had, the policemen here who are trained to handle just about any situation. Why did you lose confidence in them being able to do their job? You are a council member, a leader in this city, and you lost your sense of good judgment and responded to the rampant hysteria by arming yourself and joining the other armed men. I believe you should reflect and think earnestly about what you did in light of your position as councilman. Can you be counted on to be level-headed when the big earthquake strikes Yucaipa, or perhaps a fire comes roaring down from the hills and burns homes to the ground? Can you be counted on to act rationally in time of real crisis?
Is that it? That's it. Thank you. All righty, we have all of our comments in, public comments. We'll move on to the consent agenda.